Three, two, one, let's go. Welcome to the 411 Sports World Fantasy Football Show here on 411 Sports World Network on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, and share because why calculator?
Sharing is caring.
Calculators in the house.
Greetings and salutations for everyone. Week 2 in the books. I'm out of breath because it was one of the most highest scoring weekends in fantasy football. Not just from people in lineups, but you have people like Brock Wright getting into the end zone and Mr. Horton from Mr. 411's team making his season debut in the end zone for the surging Seattle Seahawks. But hey, you name a person other than A.J. Brown, and then you were probably scoring a touchdown. So,
All right. And welcome, LT. What's up?
yes, sir. LT in the house, 2023 champion. Always enjoy his insights to the show.
Yeah, that trophy's right over my shoulder there.
I think hey, Mr. Bowen, I think he just likes to get on the show so he can show off that trophy. So,
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I mean, LT's, he's gonna flash the gold, you know what I'm saying, whenever he gets a chance. He's gonna
yeah.
flash it. Yep. That's what champions do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, man, we are here. Hey, we're gonna have a mini draft again. We probably have some brief discussion over the last mini draft that we had. We're gonna go with news and notes. Obviously, there's some injuries out here that need to
Big
be
injuries,
discussed.
Mr. 41. Big injuries.
Okay, you heard it. Big injuries. So we're gonna cover that. And then what else we gonna have? Our listener league, right?
Yeah, we
We
do
got it.
this. Oh, and because of the injuries, Mr. 41, we are going to talk waiver wire.
Yeah, we have to. I mean, because where's she gonna get some more players unless you
Right.
try to trade with the
That's
team?
that's right. There's
And
two ways to fix rosters.
yeah,
And we'll go over both of them briefly.
yeah. And there's a little laughter behind that because there's a possible trade discussion that's gonna come
Possible.
up today.
There is some that little smoke behind the scenes, and we'll see if there's any fire to it in the show, Mr. 41.
All right. Okay. Well, let's do it, man. Let's get to the news and notes, Cal.
Oh, absolutely. And folks, when we said big injuries, I wasn't lying. Joe Burrow headlines the injury list. Turf toe, the same injury that Jack Lambert caused him to retire. Well, nowadays they actually do surgeries, but yes, turf toe is no slight injury. It's not something where you can rub some dirt on it, tape it up, and go back in. It's the real deal. Joe Burrow, it's a grade 3, which meaning it's bad, and which meaning he's just going to go ahead and have surgery. Due to the surgery, out at least a minimum of 3 months, folks. That's not 3 weeks. That's 3 months. And I'll be honest with you, and LT, you can agree with me. I think they'll be out of playoff contention without Joe Burrow by the time he's able to return, anyways.
Absolutely. And if you go with 12 weeks, you're into week 15, and that only gives you one more week for regular season before you're in the playoffs.
For the yeah, and especially you cut another week for fantasy playoffs, another week off, So, but for the thing is, you want to look at week 15, he would have to be welcome back playing the Baltimore Ravens. So I don't know if it's really a game you want to be back. Yeah, I personally, especially being in a tough AFC division, I think they'll be out of the playoffs. If they're out of playoff contention, Joe Burrow is just going to take the rest of the year off. They have too much money tied up in them to risk any type of other injury. But you never know. As we'll talk about another player later on, he could come back, and if he's not 100%, an Achilles could rupture, and then that wipes out almost the next season. So they're not going to take any chances with Joe Burrow, and that just means his backup could make the waiver wire section, folks. Jaden Daniels, another thing. Yeah, I didn't even know this was happening, Mr. 401, a Thursday night game. Apparently a knee sprain.
Whoa.
Hadn't been a definite report on that. Everything points into Jaden Daniels to give it a go. However, Washington Commanders / Redskins, remember the Robert Griffin III deal. You don't want to risk a franchise quarterback by getting a guy come out there, get him when he's not 100%, because you could just cause another injury on the injury it has. And then not only there's your franchise quarterback, there's your season. So I think they're going to take it easy. And if that's the case, Marcus Mariota is the backup. I can tell you
Ooh.
that Marcus Mariota did not make a waiver wire list. So but I'm just going to add that out there. I don't think he's worth an ad unless you're in a super flex league and you had somebody like you were riding rosters with Justin Fields as your starters. So yeah, Justin Fields and Jane Daniels, they're both hurt. You might give Marcus Mariota a try, but I wouldn't advise it. Yes, Fields. Hey, we all talked about it last week. Looked like a league winner, and I was like, oh, hey, I took him in the mini draft. Folks, that's why I can give you a preview that the calculator did not win the mini draft when we go over that, because Justin Fields found it tough sledding against a team in Buffalo that let Lamar Jackson run all over him. But now after you think about it, I think Baltimore Moore had a little bit better supporting cast than Justin Fields was having. Justin Fields was trying to do too much, got hit, got dinged up, out with a concussion. Tyrod Taylor is an interesting ad. I mean, 7 for 11, 56 yards and a touchdown in some garbage time. But hey, Tyrod Taylor shows that he can be viable with good weapons. The Jets have a top 10 offensive line, got 3 horses at running back, got a alpha receiver in Garrett Wilson. So he's got weapons. I think Tyrod Taylor can be somewhat a spot starter if needed. He did make the waiver wire section, but again, we'll save it for that. Waiver wire 6. Austin Eckler, another Thursday night injury, but hey, his season's gone. Ruptured Achilles. If anybody watched that game, it was one of those non-contact injuries, away from the ball, and when they took him off the field, no weight on the foot. That kind of right there lets you know it wasn't a strain, it was a tear. And as anybody knows, and I'll be honest with you, Mr. 411, this could be the end of Eckler's career. I mean, he was already 30 years old. He was getting a lot of miles. He was coming off of an injury 2 years ago. Had nicks here and there. Got dinged up a little last year, but played through all of it. But an Achilles is very hard for a running back to come from. Guys that need to use their foot to plant. I think it's over with him for him. I really do, Mr. 411. But yeah, he's a safe cut. And we'll give you some, people that might be able to spot replace him. But hey, that could mean Jacoby Krosky-Merritt. That elevates his timeshare. Jeremy McNichols should get elevated to a passing type thing. But I think the most person affected is Chris Rodriguez Jr. to the point where he's been a healthy scratch. He's actually going to be starting. I just think that the only guys that are going to be playable is going to be Jeremy McNichols and JCM, just from how they complement each other. Like I said, McNichols can catch the ball, and JCM was already the main back. I just think he'll just get more carries, since more snaps. More snaps mean more touches. More touches means more production, in a lot of times. So just keep him in check, though. Don't go too far. But hey, the double dipper on Sunday night, JJ McCarthy, and I know LT knows about this, Aaron Jones Sr. Early injury for Aaron Jones Sr. I mean, he came out. I was wondering why Jordan Mason was in there. I didn't even see Jones Sr. after the first carry. Yep. Aaron Stone Sr. strained hamstring. JJ McCarthy had a sprained ankle at the end of it. Of course, the way the Falcons were getting the backfield because of that banged up offensive line, it kind of come to haunt them. But yeah, it was a rough series, a rough game for the Vikings. 2 injuries and they were already banged up on the defensive side. So, Flores can't deploy his blitz heavy scheme when you don't have the horses. So I think this is going to be kind of up in the air. But hey, Carson Wentz, folks, if O'Connell is that QB whisperer that everybody talks about, of course, it didn't look like a QB whisperer with JJ McCarthy. But again, I think a banged up O-line, inexperienced quarterback kind of was, handcuffing O'Connell. But I think what's going to happen is Wentz will step in, and I think he'll be adequate because you still have Justin Jefferson. You still have Naylor the burner. You still had T.J. Hawkinson. The offensive line is actually getting more and more healthy. And guess who's coming back from suspension after next week? Jordan Addison. So I think now is the time if you want to get Wentz while he's a speculative ad, because say he comes in next week and is the Wentz of the Philadelphia days, that, or the, you can say, well, he hadn't done it in a while. Well, believe it or not, folks, there was a time when he was with Chip Kelly and the Eagles. He was a top 5 quarterback, actually an MVP candidate, till he had that horrific knee injury. And I think now that you have a good quarterback whisperer, you have a good support system, I think Wentz is playable. And then again, when he gets all his weapon back, I would say in week 4, hey, pick him up this week, sit him on the bench, see what he does. And because I think once Jordan Addison comes back, he is playable. So yes, Brian Thomas Jr., he's not on the injury report, but something says that word came out of camp that he had a wrist injury. A lot of people were saying it was those alligator arms. I think a lot, and that fourth quarter drop was just because Brian Thomas Jr. was top 3 in catch efficiency last year. What that means is if he had a catchable ball, he was number 3 in the league in catching catchable balls. So that was very uncommon these past 2 weeks. And a lot of reports is that he's having a nagging wrist injury. I think, what monitor to say, but definitely, hey, I wouldn't, if somebody wants to buy low, if somebody's offering you, or if you want to go after him and see if you can get him for pennies on the dollar, that's fine. Because there might be a frustrated owner out there with this, but yeah, I think there's better things to come, especially once his pass efficiency, still quarterback from last year, new head coach, but this head coach is a guy that, was very successful in Tampa Bay last year. So brighter days are ahead for Brian Thomas Jr. I just think the wrist injury could have affected him the last 2 weeks, but apparently it doesn't seem like he's that it's long term, because he wasn't even listed on the injury report. So that's just something to look at, people. And then Jaden Reed, another Thursday night casualty. Yes, we were worried about the Jones fracture limiting his production early on. Well, he was playing through it, but then boom, broke his collarbone. Hey, folks, 6 to 8 weeks is very optimistic, because if people remember Charles Rogers, yes, that name for the old Detroit Lions, fractured his collarbone week 1 in warmups, folks, is when this happened, and he was out for the year. So, yeah, I think what they're going to do is say, Jaden Reed, they got plenty of pass catchers in Green Bay. Say, Jaden Reed, we don't need you. Let your collarbone heal. Let the Jones fracture here, and we'll get you going next week. And also, their defense is so phenomenal that they really, unfortunately, they're not going to need Jaden Reed. Romeo Dobbs, Wicks should get a higher target share, but I'm telling you, this could open the door for Matthew Golden to get his snap count up. And if people watch that Thursday night game, they did try to go deep a couple times, but Jordan Love's deep ball is not quite as accurate as it has been in the past. So I think he's still working that out. So that's why Kraft was getting a lot of that short stuff, as well as Wicks, as well as Romeo Dobbs. But I'm telling you, if Golden's snap count gets up due to this injury and he's available on the waiver wire, the reason he's not going to be on the waiver wire section is because he's only available in 39% of leagues. But there are leagues, and I was one of them, where Matthew Golden was dropped. I'm putting a waiver claim in him, and I'm going to see if he comes to me. I mean, I'm not talking about breaking the bank for him. I wouldn't use, that me and LT discussed about last week. He's not a top 3 waiver priority, but I'm thinking 15% of FAB if you're in a blind bidding system, or 4 and later in draft priority. Yeah, I would pick up a Golden if he's out there, but he's not a priority ad. But again, he's not available in a lot of leagues. And the reason he's an ad for somebody that's speculative is he's one of those boomer bust players. I'd only also recommend him on your team if you're in a double flex league, because you have that one extra spot that you can do a boomer bust player that he can literally win you a week if all he has to connect is on one of those 2 bombs that Jordan Love's throw out there. But yeah, definitely something to look at when you go through your waiver wire and everything. So, but yeah, those are the news and notes, and we'll talk about on the waiver wire how to plug in with some of these injuries.
All right, very good, calculator. LT, anything else you want to throw in before we go to our next segment?
Uh, yeah, as you were talking about quarterbacks who got injured in a super flex league,
Oh,
I did have Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow.
Oh wow, damn.
Man, I'll tell you, if you were in a super flex league and you had those two, I'd have been grinning ear to ear. Oh man, yeah. So hey, that well, I'll give you some quarterbacks that might be on your waiver wire. Hard to, but in the super flex leagues, quarterbacks are hard to come by. So yeah, you're definitely going to have to put a bid on some of those back. Marcus Mariota might have to be on your waiver on your radar, Mister LT, with a situation like that.
Boy,
Absolutely.
well, man, that's tough.
That is
But there
brutal.
you go. Yeah, that's that. If you end up with Marcus, but hey, that's our news and notes, man. Now, with all these injuries, man, where do people need to go to find the players they need?
But go on the waiver wire, Mister 411. You know, and do you want to go waiver wires or do you want to go studs and duds real quick?
Well, let's go ahead and do that then. Let's get the studs and duds out the way. But
Okay.
we gotta get to that waiver wire 'cause I know a lot of
Oh
people
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know who
because
to
that's
pick up.
definitely important, especially with all the big injuries. But hey, I'll just throw out a quick stud and dud on my on my roster. I had a stud, Jamar Chase, doing his thing again, and the dud, AJ Brown again. So I'm going to throw this out there. We knew Jamar Chase is fine. We knew, the both of them had a down week. But LT or Mr. Four, I'm going to throw this to either one of you guys. Are any of you guys worried about AJ Brown with two lackluster performances in back-to-back weeks?
Well, LT, I can answer that first. Yeah, I'm concerned if I'm an AJ Brown owner. Uh, I would say because if you think about it, Philadelphia is about winning. They're about winning
Yep.
in these games. So they're going to win regardless of the stats, right? They're not really a stat driven type team. So if AJ Brown has a good game here and there, a monster game here and there, they'll take that. But if he's solid or just okay and they still win, they'll take that. And then the plus Hurts, he's not the most prolific quarterback in the world, you
No.
know, and I'm using my my TV vernacular there, but yeah, he's more about getting the job done by any means necessary. So if you're relying on AJ Brown to be a monster every week, you may want to temper those things. But I mean, now are there going to be games where he pops in and you're saying yes, that's what I need? Cool, but just don't expect it every week.
Well, and yeah, and LT, I don't mean to cut you off if you're about to say something, but the thing that scares me because I'm an AJ Brown owner, that's why I passed it to you guys because this is you said it perfectly, Mister For One. It's all about game script. That Philadelphia defense is so good, they're not going to be in a lot of pass situations. They're going to run the ball with their all-star running back Barkley and play defense. LT, is there anything you want to add to that? To me, being a disgruntled AJ Brown owner.
No, I absolutely, I agree with both of you. Jalen Hurts only threw for 152 yards and he rushed for 62 yards.
Yeah,
Jalen Jalen Hurts rushing for 62 yards, Saquon rushing for 60 yards. Yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot of passing the ball. I mean, you've still got Dallas Goedert who got
Yeah,
yeah,
7 receptions.
yeah,
Even though they weren't for a lot of yards, he still got 7 receptions.
yeah.
So dink and dunk, yes, but AJ Brown is someone who wants to pop the top off and go deep and run flag plays. And yeah, there's just game script is just not going to be in his favor.
Yeah, and the because a lot of people, myself included, still have flashbacks of 2 years ago when AJ Brown just flying down the field, going
yeah.
because I had the Jalen Hurts AJ Brown connection, so just doing his thing, and if you've had that before, you still say, "Oh, I've had that," but it's just not there anymore because they had a young defense. If remember, because they drafted all those guys from Georgia, they called them the Georgia Eagles because they had all those guys, but they were young. Well, now those young guys are veterans and they're good. and they're just going to keep and I'm sorry, Jalen. I don't know if Hurts is I personally I don't think he's a very accurate passer, but that isn't what made Jalen Hurts special. What made Jalen Hurts special is his wheels. Well, now you give a guy that can run the ball and throw and he was I'll take it back. He wasn't good on the 15 and other passes, which is A.J. Brown excels in. He's more of the lower, short passes, and then, of course, run if nothing's there. Well, he's got the perfect support system for that. He has the Goddard, who's a short-term range. Devontae Smith, he's a short-term range guy. Saquon Barkley, yes, he don't catch a lot of catches, but he can catch if needed and just run the ball. So, yeah, I put a lot of eggs in my A.J. Brown because he was discounted this year. You were able to get him in the third round in a lot of drafts. And this was a guy that was drafted in the first round just last year. So I was thinking, hey, third round, because I thought, script, harder schedule and everything. No, I think the game script's going to stay the same, play defense, run the ball, and just get the win. And I think that's, unfortunately, that's what A.J. Brown – and the thing is you can't sit him. I mean, you can sit him if you had one of those Quentin Johnson pickups at the end of the year, or at the end of your draft. And we'll talk about him on the waiver wire. A guy you can pick up on waiver like a Troy Franklin, something like that. So, there are times you can sit him. I'm going to say wait a little bit longer just to see if, something changes. Because I'm sorry, once they play a Baltimore Ravens, that's when A.J. Brown is going to have to come to play, because Baltimore scoring against that defense. Baltimore scores against any defense. So they're going to have to pass the ball if they're going to keep up Baltimore, because you can't run on Baltimore. Even Saquon Barkley's going to be able, because Baltimore stops the run and makes you pass. That's why the Bengals were successful. That's why Buffalo was successful. They were only successful through the air. You cannot beat Baltimore on the ground, and you cannot beat Baltimore playing defense. You have to throw the ball. So A.J. Brown, I'll tell you right now ahead of time, when they play Baltimore, A.J. Brown will be in every one of my DFS lineups when that matchup comes. But I know that's a little bit in the future, so I just want to give that. But, yeah, I'm going to give him A.J. Brown a couple more weeks before I go full-on panic.
Yeah, Mr. Calculator, he's got 10 points, less than 10 points in the first 2 weeks. And the next three defenses are some of the best defenses against the pass option. He's got the Rams, Tampa Bay, and Denver.
Yeah.
But then again, after 3 weeks, then you get the Giants twice. Yeah. So it's going to take 3 or 4 weeks before he comes out of this funk.
Oh, yeah, I misspoke. They do not play Baltimore this year. I thought that's Kansas City I'm thinking of.
So well, they will play. They're going to play Baltimore this year because they're going to play them in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, hey, if Philadelphia don't get that,
so do a DFS in the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hey, shorter slate. A.J. Brown. If they're in the Super Bowl, I'm doing the Philadelphia stack on that.
Yeah, yeah. And like I say, man, he's still a monster. He's a physical presence at receiver. I mean, it's going to be moments again, that he's going to do his thing. It's just like, hey, man, the surgery was performed well. And now we just got to see what the patient does after that.
What was scary is he played one of the worst defenses last week in Dallas. He didn't do anything. So if you can't do it against Dallas, Russell Wilson threw for over 400 yards against Dallas.
I thought Russell Wilson had a Seahawks jersey on Sunday.
Those patented moon balls that made him so famous in Seattle. You're right. He was just throwing them up there. You got to love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All those Malik Neighbors owners were very happy that Russell Wilson was throwing the moon balls.
I bet he's on the stud list.
Oh, yeah. Malik Neighbors. Oh, yeah. Him. And hey, you got any studs you want to bring up off the top of your head?
I don't think I had any studs on any of my teams this week.
What? Kenneth Walker come back to life a little bit, right? Didn't he get you?
Man, it was just a sad week. It was a sad week all the way around.
Oh, man.
Hey, Jonathan Taylor. Oh, he was on my team. Sorry, LT.
Yeah.
Looking at the list. But hey, we'll since you want to talk about duds, LT, what about Derrick Henry? All those
what? That trash talking and this what happened?
Yeah, and everybody, and I'm telling you, there were a lot of people, and you can, hey, if you're in leagues, you can shout out on our make a comment if you want. I know lots of leagues where the high scoring team in week 1 was the low scoring
Yep.
this week. And a lot of
Yeah.
Absolutely.
people was Jalen Hurts. He didn't score nearly what he did in week 1. Derrick Henry didn't score nearly what he did in week 1. So there was a lot of you could say there's a correction, but it was almost an overcorrection in that. But hey, I don't care who you are. That Cleveland defense, they're tough to run against. So that's why Lamar Jackson would be on the stud list because he was able to. Lamar Jackson's good. I would say Lamar Jackson and Todd Monken. That is the best thing to ever happen to Lamar Jackson was Todd Monken, because Monken showed him how to do his progressions. He knows how to design guys to get open. Just look what he did. Look what's happened to Georgia's offense in college after Monken's left. It's totally. I mean, Monken was designing plays for a walk-on to win back-to-back national championships. So people do not discount. So that's why I had Lamar Jackson very high in my rating at the quarterback listing, because I knew Monken was coming back. They had lost Monken and went for another jabroni. They didn't have much of a predicate behind him. I would have tempered my expectations. But Monken's play calling and Lamar's skill set have meshed together. So that's why Lamar will probably be on a weekly stud list, just because, I mean, we saw what Buffalo's defense could do. They shut down what I thought was a very good offense in the Jets, but they couldn't stop. Baltimore stopped themselves against Buffalo. So I think, and Zay Flowers, as long as he's healthy, that's just going to help, Lamar Jackson. I mean, Lamar, and who was that? Who was that? DeAndre Hopkins was catching touchdowns, Mr. 411. Should have had 2. That other one that was overturned on the 1-yard line. Kind of was, they said it was clear and obvious. I thought it was clear and obvious as a touchdown. But yeah, Lamar Jackson is just amazing. But hey, we're gonna go to another guy. This is another guy on my team. Sorry to pile on here, LT, but Ted McMillan. Wait, Ted McMillan. He is the stud for the Carolina Panthers. And folks, if you are playing the Carolina defense, that means Carolina's going to have to constantly pass. And it's always good to have an alpha in a team that's going to be playing from behind. Ted McMillan, Javonte Williams, another stud. What can you say with Javonte Williams? Resurgent Javonte. This is the Denver pre-ACL tear guy on the week. Just amazing on what he's been doing. Keenan Allen, touchdown. Quentin Johnson, touchdown. I mean, there's some other guys that was like I said, it was a high scoring week for a lot of people. So yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, welcome back. He's found the end zone, got his guys going. But another guy, Tucker Kraft, a guy that, LT, what can you say about Tucker Kraft on Thursday night? Wish I'd have waited later and drafted tight end.
Right, absolutely. That looks
Late
like
and
the
great.
way to go this year. Draft
Late and great.
Yeah. Him and Tyler Warren, some of the best values you could have gotten at tight end this year, rather than hey, don't get me wrong, I was a Kittle lover, but Kittle, hey, he's on the but hey, Tucker Kraft, Tyler Warren, those guys outscored Brock Bowers straight up, and Brock Bowers, was up to his usual snap percentage. So that was kind of, so that's why Brock Bowers made my dud list, LT. And you're as big a fan of Brock Bowers. Is this a Brock Bowers injury issue, or is this a Geno Smith issue?
It's a little bit of both. Right now, the passes that they were throwing last night, he wasn't trying to make any moves after the catch. He was just running 5-yard routes and then sitting down and waiting on the ball. But he was still making catches, and he was still out there. He was running very simple routes, and he was getting a lot of dump offs. He did get 5 catches.
Yeah, which is good for a tight end.
but all Brock Bowers did last year was catch the ball and run. Yards after catch last year was crazy. Yeah. He could make one move and be in the end zone.
Yeah, yeah. And to your point, LT, you would say Josh Allen could have had a dud game, but because of his standards. I mean, he still had 15 points, and stuff like that. But just it was the James Cook effect that really hurt Josh Allen. Josh Allen got him down to the goal line.
13 points.
To James Cook. I mean, look at James Cook and his 31 points.
Right.
I mean, I was like, 2 of those touchdowns should have been Josh Allen touchdowns, LT. When LT is hoping, LT wants teams that can score against Buffalo. So that
right.
Just look at that Baltimore game. LT wants that Josh Allen cape to come on and take him to the rescue. But if you just look at this particular lineup right here, Justin Fields, dud list. I mean, just could not get anything going. He was the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. He regressed. He couldn't find it. McDermott, great defensive mind when he's not playing Baltimore. But when he's playing other teams, he knows how to scheme them up, and he shut Justin Fields down. So, yeah, looks like Fly Zone Liam. Hey, I think I might be playing him coming up. I don't know if I'm playing him next week or not, but if I am, I'm glad he's going to have to go to. Oh, no, I play on his wife's team. I'm playing on flying. But anyways, Justin Fields, a dud week, and again we'll go over the waiver wire on who you can do, because you're going to have to replace him, because I don't think he's playing. I don't think they're going to rush him through concussion protocol, especially since he's a running quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple of studs that I did have, though. Kenneth Walker showed back up. He did get 13 for 105 and a touchdown. And Wan'Dale Robinson on my bench. 8 for 142 and a touchdown.
But you can't blame yourself for that, because 98% of the people with that lineup would have settled.
Absolutely.
I wonder if it was matchup oriented. I wonder if it's because they played Dallas.
Yeah, well, I think it was a combination. Well, I could say probably not. It's probably because they played Dallas, and we're not used to Wan'Dale Robinson getting a lot of air yards. That's what the Wan'Dale Robinson, helped out, is getting a lot of air yards from Russell Wilson throwing those moon balls. Right. Well, that, and I think Wan'Dale Robinson is really going to benefit from the coverage going over to Malik Neighbors.
That's a good point.
So that's gonna give Wan'Dale Robinson. If you saw pretty much every catch he had, they were double and even sometimes triple covering Neighbors. And it's crazy because Dallas, again, played purely zone the whole time, but they rolled that safety over to Malik Neighbors. But every time Malik Neighbors, how does Malik Neighbors still get deep on you when you're rolling coverage over? They say, hey, Kirby Smart, he said it best. And when they interviewed him, when a guy was beating their safeties left and right, he said, get deeper than the deepest man. So Kirby Smart would not have gotten beat more than once. He'd have made correct halftime adjustments. A lot better than what we see some of these other defensive coordinators doing.
All right, what about Josh Allen, fellas?
I think the James Cook effect. Josh Allen's still going to be a stud, but when it's in blowouts, that's when you see it. Yes, Josh Allen is strictly he's not game script proof. And what that means is sometimes when it's a blowout, he takes his foot off the gas and they run James Cook. They run Ray Davis. And then they even get Ty Johnson in there to get. But, that for some reason they were not doing the tush push when they were on the 1 yard line. I think a lot of it, and it could be in LT. You can jump in if you want. I mean, he did have a face laceration early in the game where he had to come out and they had to patch him up. So they didn't want to take it easy on him as well and not get any too many more hits after he kept getting that thing taped up.
Yeah, they hit him on the nose, right on the face early, and he came out of the game real early. It was in the fourth quarter. Every time he was off the field, they kept ice on it. They kept ice on it during the whole game. And just like you said, and just like we were talking about the Eagles earlier, it's going to be game script. I mean, they beat the Jets 30-10. So all they
Yeah.
had to do was run the ball. He didn't have to throw the ball that much. And with him getting hurt early in the game, they just let off the gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So just one of those things, man. Hey, we got a question too, guys.
Okay.
Might as well go ahead and tackle it. Calculator and LT. Uh, please have at this one. All right. Do you
Okay.
have it?
Yeah. Well, with a two quarterback league, me and LT talked about that's a super flex league. If you're missing both quarterbacks, because it looks like this guy had Jalen Daniels and Purdy, um, but he has Cam Ward and Rattler. Hey,
Mm.
the guys I'm going to provide on the waiver wire, I would take over Cam Ward and Rattler. Travion Henderson. I mean, just I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, he had all this hype, but I'm telling you, Mike Vrabel loves veterans, and that's what Ramondre Stevens. He's a veteran. He's getting high snaps, but yeah, I just like and Daniels is questionable, but you got to hit the waiver wire because I think the waiver wire quarterback. Hey, but I do like Rattler. I just don't like Rattler this week, Mr. 411. He's
Yeah,
playing
against Seattle.
Seattle, Mike McDonald defense. Folks, I picked up Seattle in every league except the listener league, and that's because 411 drafted the Seattle defense. so he was out there ahead of everybody. But yeah, but Rattler's a good running back or a good quarterback to have just in case. But I would actually drop Cam Ward for one of these quarterbacks that we're going to mention on the waiver wire, and we'll get to that soon.
Yep. And hey, yeah, we'll definitely do that. We appreciate you dropping your question there. The what is it? The Smitty. All right, the Smitty. I wonder if that's Steve Smith with that move. You know that move Steve Smith from Atlanta
Oh
Hawks had
yeah. Oh
called
wow.
the Smitty. I wonder
Yeah.
if that's what your name's for. Let us know that, and make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and share. And I'm certain you're already doing that because you posted your question today. But share
Yep.
that with your friends and make sure they do it too, because
And,
sharing
and I
is
do want to add, with this particular makeup, I would prioritize Mac Jones and then Browning behind him. And the reason now, if I didn't have Purdy on my list, I would prioritize Browning ahead of Mac Jones. But the thing is, if you pick up Mac Jones, first of all, he's a capable quarterback in a Shanahan defense. Or a Shanahan offense. Very good weapons. Well, the thing is, if Mac Jones isn't starting, well, guess what? That means your other quarterback, Purdy, is. So you got at least that one quarterback covered with the Mac Jones pickup. But I love Jake Browning just because all you have to say is Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Chase Brown. You got weapons. So you say those three names, I'm getting the quarterback. Oh, little tidbit, Mr. 411. Jake Browning subbed for Joe Burrow 2 years ago. And out of 6 out of the 8 games he subbed for Joe Burrow, top 10 quarterback. So, yeah, if you can get a top 10 quarterback off the waiver wire, especially in a 2-quarterback league, he needs to be your top priority unless you have Purdy on your bench. If Purdy's on your bench, I'm going with Mac Jones because then you're guaranteed a quarterback. Even if Mac Jones is not starting, that means Purdy is starting. So then you have it covered.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, I hope that helps. And send us anything else you want to send us. You can
Yep.
put more questions there 24 hours, 7 days a week on this episode, and we'll answer them. So just put it out there for us. All right. We are we done with studs and duds?
Yes, we are, Mr. Foreman. Now we're going into the important part of the
Oh, waiver wire. Calculator. Hello. All right. Are we frozen? LT, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. It sounds like Calculator's having technical difficulties on his end.
Oh, okay. Man, I thought we was in the matrix there for a minute.
No,
We were
I'm
going
still
to
here.
okay, we were going to waiver wire, and let's go ahead and do that while calculators out of here. LT, you're here, man. Help us out, man. What's some players
Well,
on the waiver wire, man?
I'm hoping everybody picked up Basil Tootin last week, and he is not out there on your waiver wire. There are some guys that I do like. I do love that Troy Franklin. But here's the key with Troy Franklin. You have Sean Payton, and you know Sean Payton will Sean Payton in a minute. So Troy Franklin's going to be the number 2 wideout on that team, but you still have to temper his expectations most of the time just based on game script.
And based on, you said the name, Sean Payton. Hey, folks, I remember a guy named Valet a couple years ago who outscored Cortland Sutton on the week, and everybody went and picked up Valet on it, and then he stunk so bad that now he's playing for the Saints this year. So yeah, I'm not trusting the. Hey, I like Troy Franklin if you're in a double flex league and you're struggling at wide receivers, but you know that again, I do not like a Sean Payton wide receiver. Heck, Cortland Sutton's supposed to be the number 1 wide receiver on the team, and he had 1 catch last week. So, and Bo Nix does not look comfortable yet. So be careful. That's why I'll get to him when we get to the wide receivers. But Troy Franklin is definitely get him if he's available and you need him. If I don't need him, I'm not spending a high waiver priority, and I'm not spending a lot of fab. But hey, Mr. 4-1, I'm going to go to you. What do you think of Sam Darnold? Do you think last week is the Sam Darnold we get the rest of the year, or do you think he's going to revert back to week 1, Sam Darnold against San Francisco?
I mean, I would use him this week, against the Saints.
Against the Saints, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Darnold has used Jackson Smith and Jigba, but hey, Cooper Kupp got
finally.
Man, finally 7 catches, 90 yards. Hey, as long as Seattle will focus 2 wide receivers, Darnold is a guy you can trust going forward. Oh, and the schedule looks like you said, New Orleans, Arizona. Oh yeah, I'm loving. I am digging the Seattle upcoming schedule if Darnold is available. And then
D. Smitty needs to look into that. D. Smitty.
That's right. That's right. Hey, and we talked about Jake Browning. He's high on my list just because he's guaranteed 3 months with those weapons. I still like Mac Jones because I'm telling you right now, Mr. 4-1, when I saw Mac Jones last week, I didn't see a difference between him and Brock Purdy. Mac Jones was tossing. Now, yeah, you can say it's the same. Yeah, I don't want to hear all that, right? All I know is Mike Shanahan, when he has a quarterback, he can make a guy look good because of his offense design. And now you have McCaffrey to throw to. You have Jawan Jennings. You have Pearsall. You have wide receivers you can go to, and a decent offensive line and a decent defense to keep you in games so that, you don't – because Mac Jones, folks, look what he had to do with. He had a depleted New England offensive system that he went to. Mac Jones was the first round. Mac Jones was drafted 7 rounds higher than Brock Purdy in the draft. So a lot of scouts like Mac Jones compared to Brock. Brock Purdy was the last pick in the draft, folks. But now, folks, I'm not going to say he's going to overtake Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy just signed a massive contract. I'm just saying Mac Jones might be able to say, Brock Purdy, have the 49ers say, Brock Purdy, you can rest a little bit longer because we got this covered. So, yeah, I like Mac Jones right under Browning. But, hey, I'll roll, and we talked about the question. I would go with Tyrod Taylor ahead of Cam Ward just because Cam Ward's – I mean, Cam Ward has weapons and Ridley and stuff like that, but he's still a rookie and just, I think they got too tough. Indiana looked pretty good against Denver on deck, and then on the road at Houston – Will Anderson, that Houston defense is nasty. So, yeah, I like Tyrod Taylor for at least the next 2 weeks because, again, top 10 offensive line, Garrett Wilson, sign me up. But I want to talk about another guy that's if somebody – he's probably not on a lot of waiver wires, but I'm going to mention him because our friend LT was kind enough to join the show. Bayshaw Tootin. Folks, the guy looked hey, LT, you might be starting him next week with Aaron Jones Sr., or getting banged up, right? He looked.
You are absolutely correct. Now, I may not have a choice.
I know. Well, you can have a choice after the waiver wire section, and I'll give you that choice. But yeah, 5.3 yards per carry on 8 attempts, 32 yards and a score on a pair of targets. Yes, he still played behind Travis Etienne, but the rookie saw 31% of carry share compared to only 54% of Etienne. He tallied a 13% route rate, which was what was really below. But hey, when he caught the ball, that guy could move. Tank Bisbee's off the roster. Tootin's only going to get more and more touches as the coaching staff gets more and more, in love, because the guy's got the skills. So yeah, if he's somehow available in any league, definitely get there. But yes, the running back I want people to pick up is the Jeremy McNichols, due to the season-ending injury to Eckler. Yes, McNichols is 30. He's on his 10th NFL team. His career high receptions in season stands at 28 when he was with the 2021 Titans. He's just caught 21 career passes outside this year. Expectations need to be in check. But if you need a guy like LT has talked about, McNichols could enter the conversation of being a fill-in if you need somebody. But hey, let's go to the wide receivers. The top guy is Troy Franklin. We already briefly talked about. LT mentioned the Sean Payton thing. Hey, but in week 2, Franklin did lead the Denver receiving corps 49 snaps. But guess what? He also had 29 routes. He had 29 routes, which outpaced the 26 by Cortland Sutton. And yes, a career high 8 grabs, 89 yards. So yes, only one more route than Marvin Mims, but it still is the league leader. And it looks like Bo Nix might have found his main guy, but I still don't think he's going to overtake Sutton. So like we said, keep things in check. But hey, the man, you're not going to be in our listener league because LT has him on his man. LT, you got a lot of these waiver people. I'm trying to give people some advice, and they're all on LT's roster. Wandale Robinson, 142 yards. Guys, caught deep balls, 25, 32, 50. One of them for a touchdown. That other bomb should have been a second touchdown. But again, I think the Dallas matchup kind of, set it all for the touchdown and yardage perspective. He's still going to get a lot of targets and looks because of the neighbors effect and because the team's going to be down and going to be in pass mode. And guess what? This week they're playing Kansas City. So I have a feeling they'll be behind a lot in this one. So he should remain busy against them. But hey, let's go to the Packers. Octavian Wicks and Romeo Doubs. Well, between those two, LT, who would you take between Romeo Doubs and Octavian Wicks, and why?
It would probably be Dobbs because Dobbs was already in the number 2 spot.
Correct. And I'd have to go with that. And Octavian Wicks has been known to drop a lot of balls. That's why he was buried on the depth chart anyways. But yeah, I agree with you. I'd go with Dobbs just because he's going to have more target share, more routes run, and he appears to be the secondary target after Tucker Kraft.
Right?
Tucker Kraft can't be a waiver wire because he's rostered everywhere. So that's why I'm there. But hey, Mr. or LT, you said you had some deep recommendations.
Well, some of them are deep, some of them are not. On that list that is sitting there on your week 3 pickups, I really like Alec Ayumanor. And I would definitely make sure he was not on the waiver wire.
Yes. He's out. And folks, good call because he is actually outsnapped and ran more routes than Calvin Ridley today. So
wow.
4 catches for 56 and a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
And his schedule is going to get absolutely better. He only has one more very tough defense on the schedule until the end of the season.
Yeah, well, Houston and Seattle are their the Chargers looked a little stingy, LT, but that's later in the season. But you're right. The immediate schedule could ease up, especially if Calvin Ridley's getting all the double coverage.
Right, and they play Seattle in like week 12. So it's going to be a while before I would definitely pick him up right now. And Justin, while we're still on the ideas here, let's look at how about a tight end? I would recommend Jatavian Sanders.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
This week he caught 7 catches for 54 yards, and he had 9 targets.
Hey, and like I said, we talked about that Carolina offense. Their defense is so bad, they're going to be in pass mode a lot.
Yep.
Going forward.
Right, because game script is going to have them behind, and they're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah. Hey, and since I also want to talk about one more running back is Woody Marks. See if he's available.
Woody Marks, absolutely.
Yes, he's been elevated to the number 2 running back role. He came in for the first. He actually spelled Nick Chubb on the first. But you know what, people? Woody Marks was a fantastic pass catcher in college. That was his specialty. So if they need a spark and they need that short pass, because folks, that we talked about it on this show, that is the 32 ranked offensive line in pass protection for the Houston Texans. So he's not going to have a lot of times to throw. So what does that mean? Screen passes, wheel routes, option, run pass option. All that is a Woody Marks special. So if you need a guy, and Apocalypse will be here before you know it, folks. Woody Marks is definitely a guy. If he's available, give him a look, because Dare Agubawale, he was the backup. He was the number 2 running back, but he dipped from 17 snaps to 10, and all that work went to Woody Marks. So yes, Marks is only going to get better and better as the year goes on.
Now, I looked out there on the waiver wire this week, and for talent, the waiver wire is really very light this week. It really didn't have a whole lot of talent out there that you had to run out there and waste a number 1 waiver priority on and pick somebody up. So if these handcuffs are out there in your league, you definitely need to pick them up. If you can find Tyler Algier on any of your leagues, I would definitely put in a waiver claim, because if Bijan goes down, he is going to be an automatic start no matter what. Even Kareem Hunt. If Pacheco goes down, Kareem Hunt's already getting some points and some yards. If Pacheco goes down, he's going to be the bell cow back of the whole team.
Okay. Hey, and you want to talk about handcuffs, folks? The Kyron Williams handcuff, Blake Corum. More snaps in the league. He played 18 snaps, 5 rushing attempts, 44 yards. He outscored Williams this week. So this past week. So yeah, if Williams would ever get hurt, we all know what the coach for the Rams likes to do. He likes to rely on one guy, and he's run them basically into the ground. So yes, if you have room for a handcuff, Blake Corum's also a name you could look at.
All right, we digging deep.
Hey, we're trying to help these folks out with all these injuries, Mr. 411.
Well, the calculator did say that all these guys on the waiver wire are already on my team. Trying to help y'all out.
We're trying. Yeah. So yeah, but there's more. But hey, if that and I in a competitive league, it's more the Woody Marks, the Blake Corums. But hey, yes, those quarterbacks, sure. we definitely. And hey, Daniel Jones is in the circle of trust of the 411 sports league community. We love Daniel Jones because, and we talked about it, Mr. 411, in our preseason show, that Daniel Jones, you give him good tools, he could definitely do some damage.
Yeah,
and he's got tools with Michael Pittman and Downs, Alec Pierce, even Adonai Mitchell catching balls in there, and he's got Jonathan Taylor running the ball. So you want to talk about Daniel Jones? I never had that in New York. So I know he in a top 10 offensive line always helps as well.
Yeah, he's our cover athlete. You know what I mean? He made the cover.
That's right. But yeah, if Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold's not available, because those are quarterbacks, starters for team, Jake Browning's definitely my top guy, unless you're a Purdy owner. then I'd go with Mac Jones. But I really like Browning and his supporting cast. And like I said, we dug deep with Tyrod Taylor and and Carson Wentz as two guys that you could lean on in a spot. If you especially two quarterback superflex leagues.
All right. Okay, man. Hey, look, it's important, man. That waiver wire is the key to your league. It's the lifeline to it, man. Like it keeps you alive, survive injuries, all that stuff. And so hope that was very helpful to the listeners.
Yeah.
All right, what we got next, fellas?
Hey, well, we already talked about the listener league, Mr. 411. Since we're running short on time, we might have to get straight to the mini draft.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
It is time for the mini draft.
Mini
All
draft.
right.
And folks, just to preview, Mr. 411 took the number 1 pick last week and crushed me and LT. So I don't have the points here populated, but Mr. 411 had Lamar Jackson, Bijan Robinson, DK Metcalf do his thing. Justin Fields and Derrick Henry synced my team, and Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson, pretty much, no touchdowns for LT as well. 411 kind of ran away with it. So congratulations, Mr. 411, on a week 1 victory. So let's see if he gets it again this week. Will he get the number 1 pick this week?
All right, let's see what happens.
Come on, that's me.
Looks
me.
Looks like calculator as number 1 pick.
Yes, sir. I am going.
Darn it.
To put Lamar. Oh no, not Lamar. I got.
You already drafted.
No, not yet. I don't want to give it away.
Yet.
You ready to draft, man?
I almost said Lamar. Almost gave it away.
He is ready. Looks like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pick again.
Last pick again.
Look, but Larry gets back to back.
That's right.
That could be crucial this week.
All right.
All
so
right.
we are going to calc, and we're going to go to 411 and LT. Oh, hold on. Okay, so I did say, they're gonna, and this time they're gonna have to continue. I gotta go with Lamar Jackson. He's
it's hard not to.
McCaffrey of last year, right? Give me Lamar Jackson in what could be a shootout against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, Detroit, man, their defense has not been their calling call this year.
All right. And LT, or I'm sorry, 411.
All right, 411's on the board. Okay. Who's Atlanta playing this week, people? Help me out.
Carolina.
Give me Bijan. Give me Bijan.
He helped you out last week.
Yeah. I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna run it back with Bijan.
All right.
Brooks, you out there? Wish me luck.
All right, LT.
Well, let me make this just as easy as I possibly can. Let's go with Christian McCaffrey. Playing Arizona.
Yeah, good one. Back to back.
Back to back. And he's got the back to back. Whew, CD Lamb sure was a letdown last week. Man. Minnesota has a good defense. Let's go with Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Versus Cincinnati.
So you're good on Cincinnati defense. Most of whoever's going to play quarterback in Cincy. Minnesota.
He's betting against the defense in this situation.
And Jefferson's a great player. He's going to lead. He's going to score.
So a lot of
he's
times,
going to find a way to score this week.
With the exception of he's pretty much quarterback proof. With the exception of JJ McCarthy was just I think JJ McCarthy was sleep deprived because people don't remember he had a new baby born on Thursday, so he was still probably trying to get over that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. 411.
All right, I'm gonna go with Lamb. I'm gonna go with CD Lamb.
All right. And y'all talked about. I'm still, even though I'm still going to go with the first tight end off the board because I don't need because y'all took the running back and wide receiver, so one of them going to fall back to me anyway. So I'm going to take McBride.
Okay.
With my next pick, the top rated tight end.
All right.
McBride. And CD was going to be my tight. Hey, okay, Cincinnati. I mean, yeah, they're defense, but
Oh yeah, you back to back. That's right.
yeah, he can. Well, I'm gonna. It looks like he got revitalized.
That's that deep.
I'm not gonna do that. Goodness gracious. They're going to be in catch-up mode, so I'm going to go with Amon St. Brown against Baltimore.
Ooh, okay.
They're going to have to throw the catch-up.
That was definitely another stud this week. He put up almost 40 points.
Well, yeah, 3 touchdowns. that was nasty. So, all right, Mr. 4-1, you need either a quarterback or a tight end.
QB or tight end. Ooh. Yeah. Let me go with let me do this. Warren at tight end.
Oh, good pick. All right, LT, you need to fill out your roster with a quarterback and a tight end.
All right. Well, I'm not scared of Miami's defense, so I'm going back with Josh Allen.
Okay.
LT, our 4-1, I thought you were going to try and take Josh Allen away from him. I'm surprised you went to the tight end selection.
I thought he was. I really thought he was going to get him. Let's go ahead and give me Travis Kelce versus the Giants.
Okay.
No Brock Bowers? Oh, man. Okay.
He might just have to stand there again and catch 5 passes.
Yeah. He's going to wait to see more. I totally understand that. All right, Ms. Foreman, you need a quarterback.
All right, then. Let me go Justin Herbert.
A revitalized Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Let me go with Herbert this week.
He has a lot of weapons. He just needs to use them.
Yeah.
I like him this week.
And I'm going to hey, this is kind of, but I love the matchup. I love the setup. I'm going, Chicago has trouble stopping the run. I'm going with Javonte Williams.
Okay.
All right.
One of the, I believe, top 5 scoring running backs this year so far. And if he can do half of what Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery combined against the Bears, I will be happy. All right. So I went with Lamar Jackson, Javonte Williams, Amon St. Brown, and McBride. 411 has Justin Herbert, Bijan Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, and Tyler Warren. And LT has Josh Allen, McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, and Kelce to round out our mini draft.
All right. And our mini draft is it helps you with your daily fantasy picks if you're out there playing daily fantasy.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
should be able to get Javonte Williams fairly cheap. And I think it's just a golden matchup.
Do you think the value of some of these players, like let's say a Jefferson because of quarterback injury, do you think like even like what's his name Chase? Do you think some of the price will go down a little bit because of injuries at quarterback?
See, the thing is in daily though, it's not going to go down enough because a lot of times they keep the price inflated based on name. So yeah, I would stay away from guys with backup quarterbacks if they're still within 10% of what they were the past week, which usually they are. Well, also another thing is they got to come up with their prices early. So, they came out with their I mean, Jamar Chase was relative, but just we didn't know about McCarthy until last night, and the prices were already out. But yeah, so I would stay away personally in DFS from high priced wide receivers with backup quarterbacks, just because of the uncertainty that could be in there.
All right. Any closing remarks, LT?
Nah, I think I'm good. I'm gonna be on putting all my waiver claims in tonight.
Hold on,
I mean,
LT.
you got everybody. What claims you got to put in? You already picked up everybody.
You got the whole waiver wire.
Except our league, our league of record. I've still got that
Oh,
golden ticket I'm hanging on to.
Yes, you do.
okay. All right. Because I know LT, we're going to call you Nostradamus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
'Cause you already
because LT
you
he
played up
grabbed
months in advance.
yeah, LT grabbed Wandale Robinson last week. So,
Yeah.
Yep,
so he didn't have to
absolutely.
use waiver priority or not. He got him straight off the free agent list.
Yeah. All right. He gets some on sale. All right. But hey guys, the great episode here again. We thank everybody for tuning in. We'll do it again next week, and I'm certain we're gonna have some discussions when it comes to this mini draft and all the other stuff that we did this week and talked about. So can't wait for it. D Smitty, appreciate your question. Keep them rolling. And LT calculator, I appreciate you guys joining me, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All
Goodbye,
right.
everybody.
All right. We'll catch you all next week.